And King Solomon says, vanity, vanity, meaningless, meaningless. All works under the sun is all meaningless, and there's nothing new under the sun. If you look at the Apostle Paul, he considered everything in this world are garbage, waste of time. Well, if you look at the meaning of this garbage, if you look at the King James Version, are you ready for this one, mga kapatid? Is a dung, is a manure, it's a poop. Pasintabi po sa mga kumakain ngayon. But that's the truth. The Apostle Paul says, I consider them all waste. I consider them all garbage. I consider them all human manure. In order for me to gain Christ. And the Apostle Paul says, I consider them all waste, garbage, a dung, a human manure. In order for me to gain Christ. For many, this empty way of life has been inherited from our forefathers. In Romans chapter 1, verse 20, For since the creation of the world, His invisible attributes, His eternal power and divine nature had been clearly seen, being understood through what was had been made, so that they are without excuse. For even though they knew God, they did not honor Him as God or give thanks, but they became futile in their speculations, and their foolish heart was darkened. In Ephesians chapter 4, verses 17, 18 to 19, this is what it says. So this I say, and I affirm together with the Lord, that you walk no longer just as the Gentiles also walk, in the futility of their mind, being darkened in their understanding, excluded from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the hardness of their heart, and they, having become callous in this way, and have given themselves over to sensuality for the practice of every kind of impurity with greediness. As Christians, we have been redeemed from the futile and meaningless way of life to now live a life of obedience to the gospel. And that is, we are emancipated not only from the bondage of sin, but the burden of sin in our lives. And remember this, in the next 100 years of your life, nobody will remember you. It's either you are a good person or a bad person. And what is 100 years? If you look at the geological age, it's like a picoseconds. And what is 100 years compared to the universe? It's like a vapor of time. And nobody will remember us in our lifetime in the next 100 years. But only the service for Christ is forever be remembered by God. So all the works, even the Apostle Paul, Solomon, right? They said it's all futile. It's a useless life. It's a meaningless life. And even Albert Camus, they acknowledge the absurdity of life. And no one will remember us. And all the world, the Apostle Paul considered is as garbage, a dung, a manure, in order for us to gain Christ every day. So remember this, only our works for Christ, Only our service in Christ will forever be remembered by God. Outside of that one will fade away to eternity.